Keep this bond sitting. Please, Millets.
आइए नंबर आइए नंबर
What is your line of submissions, Mr. Hegde? What is the line of submission?
My lords, most of my submissions have been covered. I most respectfully adopt them, endorse them, and vehemently adopt them. Now, my lords, what I propose to do is to buttress some of the submissions. I won't take very long. Please, my lords. My lords, I appear in IA number 106839 of 2018. The applicant is a shareholder in a public listed company. Like the original petitioner in the Jayantilal Kotecha case, who had 3 shares in Tisco, I have a few shares in a few companies. My lords, he has been a public interest litigant earlier also, my lords. My lords, your lordships was shown the electoral bond. And as your lordships was shown that electoral bond, the figure that came into my mind was of the late lamented Mr. Ram Jethmalani, who really brought political corruption to the fore when he demonstrated to a press conference in 1993 how 1 crore was fitted into a suitcase. When I spoke to my younger colleagues, they said, oh, yes, 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 we saw it in a Netflix series. Scam, sit down. Today, whether it is a sum of 1 crore, whether it is a sum of 100 crores, all that it requires is just that one piece of paper that your lordships has been presented.
Suitcases are not required. Suitcases are not required.
Suitcase not required. One brief envelope suffices. And that brief envelope is time limited.
15 days.
15 days. My lords, there was a better copy at page 6919 of an actual electoral bond for 1,000 rupees, where even the stamp is issued.
6919
of volume 4.
Nine.
19 of volume 4. Your lordships will see that there is a date of 23rd of January 2023. And the words, for value received, the bank, which is the State Bank of India, hereby proposes to pay on demand to the eligible payee which is holding this instrument upon surrender of the original instrument in the designated account of the eligible political party with the bank, the sum representing the value of this instrument in accordance with the scheme. On payment of the said amount, the liability of the bank hereunder shall stand fully extinguished. So what has been created is a time-denominated anonymous currency. This is, my lords, the currency of power. And I make this submission simply because long ago it was a British Chancellor of the Exchequer, Lord Thurlow, who said, corporations have neither bodies to be punished nor souls to be condemned. They therefore do as they like. A corporation is a juristic person consisting of various shareholders. And those shareholders who are in management take a decision on behalf of other shareholders or on behalf of the juristic person that they will contribute. They will buy electoral bonds, and then they are given a further assurance that their contribution to X political party or Y political party need not be reported to anyone.
Yes.
So, if my lords then see in actual practice over the past few years what has happened, your lordships have been shown various records derived from political party statements, which have been further analyzed by the ADR. Now, my lords, my client, what he has done is, he has gone to the balance sheets of certain listed public companies. They are not before your lordship, so I am not going to mention any names. Your lordships may treat them as Corporation A, Corporation B, Corporation C. But now, please, if your lordships just turns down towards now page 6916, two or three pages before that, my lords. Now, 6915 is the corporation's statement of profit and loss. Thankfully, my lords, those documents are also highlighted at the relevant portion. Now, here, they do not even put in the profit and loss statement, as they are required to under the law, that they have actually bought election bonds. What is done is the next page. Other expenses. And in other expenses, right at the bottom with a double hash, it includes rent, printing, stationery, security repairs and maintenance expenses, etc. Further, it includes political contributions amounting to 273 and 412 made under 182 of the Companies Act during the year of March 31st, 2020 and 2019. Now, this is not 412 rupees. This is expressed in crores. And how do you know that? You go back, because you have to go not crores, my lords, in. Please get up. Please stop.
All
amounts are in millions of Indian rupee except per share data. Right at the top of page 6915.
So it is 412 million rupees.
Yes, it's 41 crores. So similarly, my lords, and since your lordships, one of your lordships has penchant for figures. Yes, my lords.
6914, it's specifically miscellaneous expenses.
691.
Include donation of rupees 20 crores paid to political parties
Yes, my lord.
through electoral bonds.
That is another corporation, my lords. Each of the corporations
Okay.
there are no fixed standards. Each corporation puts it somewhere or the other. Some include it with rent, stationery, and the rest. So, my lord, sometimes it's said that the truth in affidavits, what is revealed is interesting, but what is concealed is vital.
That's how the accounting treatment takes place in the corporation.
Please, my lords. So now what is it which is actually required, my lords?
What
And,
is
if
Mr.
you're
Hegde
not-
now, what's the submission?
my lords, the submission is this, that even under the current law, at page 8 of the same volume, Mr. Prashant Bhushan's chart, what is required is that no such contribution shall be made by a company unless a resolution authorizing the making of such contribution is passed at a meeting of the directors, and such resolution shall, subject to the other provisions, be deemed to be justification in law. Each time that there is a purchase of an electoral bond by a company, there has to be a resolution of the board of directors, which is not normally open to the public. They are not, the company maintains minutes books. It is available for inspection. Each of these resolutions, my lords, because these electoral bonds are election specific.
Not
So
necessarily.
it can't be.
No. It's the bonds are sold at certain specific stipulated times in a year. January, April,
No.
October, and then 30 days for the general election.
My lords, it is whenever there is an election
The argument of Mr. Sibal is that it's not election related at all. Because when you purchase the electoral bond in, say, January, there may not be an election on the anvil at that point of time at all.
my lords,
And you have to expend it within 15 days. Otherwise, it ceases to be valid in the sense that the contributions made to the PM's relief fund.
it has to be cashed within 15 days.
Otherwise, it
So
serves its
therefore,
purpose.
the political party can take it into its accounts. As to when the political party uses the money, there is no limit on that.
That is what Mr. Sibal is arguing, that it can be used for any purpose.
Any purpose at
It
all.
can be used for any purpose. You create an office, a huge political party office. You have residences there for the party leaders. That is sanctioned, and it can be worked at any point of time.
He said that the term electoral bond is a misnomer.
You can purchase an aircraft or a yacht.
Yes. But the point here is, my lords, this tranche, each tranche of issue of electoral bonds is normally linked, subject to correction, my lords, so your lordships can clarify it with me, with the declaration of elections.
It's not available throughout the year. There are specific times.
Specific times. Those times are often matched.
No. The specific months in a year, I think there are four months.
Quarters.
4 quarters.
It also happens, my lords, that almost every quarter there is an election.
No, it's not necessarily.
And not a state or a...
No, it may be a bipole or something, but not every general election doesn't happen.
Not a general
four
election,
times
not
in
a general election, not a general election. But every few months, there is a series of elections. And around that time,
Mr. Sibal is nodding in no, and his experience is greater than yours, at least in that.
that I concede. That I concede. My lords, my respectful point is this, that even with the changes in law, there are compliances required, and those compliances can be further enhanced by what your lordships, the Chief Justice referred to, as far as the Election Commission is concerned. There is the Election Commission notification under 324 with regard to electoral trusts. I would, Mr. Hansaria said that it was not on the website. Thanks to Mr. Prasanna here, I could get it retrieved. Your lordships kindly sees what the election in trust notification itself said.
Just one thing.
Please, Mali.
We take it, all of you, the way you've argued, is the relief you're seeking is quashment of the scheme itself, complete scheme.
Yes, my lords,
Not any part of the scheme. Not any portions of the scheme. Or
No,
you are
the-
seeking is erasing of the scheme with regard to anonymity.
And the
Malot,
challenge to the validity of the amendments to the law.
it is a challenge
That
to the
way,
validity
you
of
have
the
not-
amendments.
none of
I am
you
not.
have Till now been very specific on that. You have broadly argued, but on the question of relief or the prayer you're seeking, what do you?
Malot, I am an intervener. I can't.
You're right.
I can't.
You're right. You're
go
right.
ahead.
It's a wrong question to you.
Yes, Malot.
We are seeking that the entire scheme be set aside as arbitrary.
Okay. And the
One of
amendments.
the elements of arbitrariness is obscurity. That's one of the elements. There are other.
We're not asking, we just,
Since your lordships put it like that, one of the elements is that, but it's much broader than that, which is what we want.
As an intervener, all that I can point out is
You're supporting the petition.
I support the petitioner, and I'm making a further case that even under the law as it currently stands, your lordships can impose further directions which would possibly reduce the opacity.
Thank you, Mr. Hegde. Thank you.
Would your lordships kindly allow me to place that one election commission document?
324.
Yes,
Please, my lords. Under
we
324.
are uploading it. All right.
Yes, my lords. It has been uploaded.
Let's see that.
Please, my lords. This was with regard to electoral trusts. It has been. Prasanna will have. It's out here. As per Rule 17C(a) of the Income Tax Rules, the electoral trusts can receive voluntary contribution from any company or individual for funding of political parties. Under the existing law, for transparency of funding, political parties are required to submit their contribution reports in excess of 20,000 from any person. However, there is no such transparency requirement either regarding source of funding or dispersal of funds to political parties through electoral trusts. Therefore, there is a legal vacuum in respect of disclosure of contribution reports by electoral trusts. In exercise of the plenary powers vested in it by virtue of Article 324 and all other powers enabling in this behalf, the Commission hereby issues the following instructions. Electoral trusts are required to submit an annual report of contributions to the Commission before the due date of filing of the income tax return. The report shall be in the enclosed format. The report shall contain details of contributions received from any person or entity, details of all donations given to political parties in a financial year as per the format, and the format specifies the period and the specificity. The annual report shall be verified, signed by the person authorized, and a copy of the. And if your lordships was speaking of the Satya Electoral Trust ballots, that the list of approved trusts was there. And then, my lords, the abstract of donations, details of the contributions, and Part C, name of the political party, PAN, amount distributed, date, and mode. So it's not as if, even under the existing law, the opacity cannot be reduced. I'm grateful.
Thank you, Mr. Hegde. Yes.
May I please, Your Honor?